So recently, the captains got together, had a press conference, met with the media about what they're planning on doing with their respective teams, qualifying, et cetera. I'll get into that in a second. But first, here are the captains in the form of Luke Donald and Keegan Bradley, respectively, on being the Ryder Cup captain.
I've said it many times that moment when we won in Rome was the best and the highlight of my career. And to hear those 12 guys shout 2 more years was certainly for me a personal moment of joy and honor that they would want me to come back and represent them again as captain. So I'm very excited about the opportunity to be here in New York, and I can't wait for it to all kick off in just under a year's time.
I have to pinch myself a lot, and this stretch of my life has been really incredible, and it's an honor of a lifetime for me to lead this U.S. team here at Bethpage Black. It was a dream to play in another President's Cup, another team event, and to win the point made it even more special. But this is a dream come true for me. I love Bethpage, I love New York, and like I said, it's an honor of a lifetime.
All right, so you could see on your television screens now, to my right, these are the details of this Ryder Cup. For those of you who may not already be aware, I suspect you're going to be very happy that it's at Bethpage Black. Kind of, it's being positioned, and I know people from New York feel this way, it's America's course. It's a public golf. It's part of the municipal system of New York. It's one of the greatest golf courses in the country and the world. Why not? September 22nd to the 28th is the week of 2025, Bethpage Black course. It's in Farmingdale, New York on Long Island. Of course, the captains, respectively, as you just saw and heard, the United States, is Keegan Bradley, which shocked a lot of people, and Luke Donald, who you heard him talking about the players themselves, wanted him back again, and why not with the job that he did last time in Rome. So if there's anything to take away from this that I think causes one to think, pause, it's about the qualification process, particularly on the U.S. side. We already know what's going on the European side. I'm happy to get into that in detail, too, if you want me to. But on the U.S. side, I want to talk to you about what we've seen and what we've heard, and does it represent something different? Did it start to go that direction? Have they pulled back? We'll get into that in just a moment. First of all, let's hear from the captains themselves on that.
It's slightly different. The same 6 automatic qualifiers. We've streamlined that into one list now instead of 2 that it was previously. I think it makes it a little more simpler for the fans and the viewers to understand. And we made a few changes just to because of the changing landscape in golf, and we wanted to create something that we thought would give us the strongest 6. And then we have obviously 6 picks like we did last time, and to round out our team. And I think it's a great qualification system to give us the best and strongest field we possibly can get for this Ryder Cup.
No, we're going to keep it the same. I think the point system does a great job in identifying the 12 best players. We play our elevated events and our majors, carry so much weight, and I think that's important with how strong the fields are. Week to week, the pressure of playing in these big tournaments and these majors, and that shows up on the points list.
The DP World Tour's policies have been very consistent. There's been a lot of clarity around that. It's really the same as it was in Rome. You have to be a member of the European Tour or born in Europe, and if you fulfill the regulations and the rules that the DP World Tour set, then you're eligible. So there's a bunch of LIV guys that play on LIV that are eligible now, so I can pick them at will. Oh, I've spoken to John. I've spoken to everyone that is a possibility for being on that team. It was great to see John, do what he needed to do to remain eligible. To see him nearly win in Spain last week. He played not last week, a couple of weeks ago. He played very well at the Dunhill. We're in constant communication. Again, I'm talking to all the players, to him, to Tyrrell. It was great to see Tyrrell win last week at the Dunhill. So, again, good communication between myself and all these players is vital, and I've certainly been keeping up with that.
Sergio has talked before about rejoining. Do you think that is a serious option?
Yeah, we chatted on the phone a couple of weeks ago. He's certainly very interested in doing that. He understands, everything that's involved, and again, the decision has to go to him whether he's prepared to do all that. But certainly, we've had that discussion. Yes.
I'm going to take the 12 best players. So if we feel like there's a few guys there, one guy, two guys, whatever it is, then we're going to do that. But we're too far out to figure out how this is all going to play out. But we're definitely going to take the 12 best players, however that shakes out.
Okay, so it's really interesting to try to sort through what the captains were just saying there. This was a statement from the PGA of America. Remember, this statement came out prior to the press conference to ensure the PGA Championship will continue to deliver the strongest field in golf and that the U.S. Ryder Cup team will continue to have access to the best American players. The PGA of America board has determined that LIV golf players will be eligible for both. Going forward, all LIV players are eligible for the PGA Championship, and any American player who qualifies for the Ryder Cup on points or is added to the U.S. team as a captain's pick is eligible to compete. This is consistent with LIV golf players competing in the PGA Championship the past 2 years. Brooks Koepka was a member of the U.S. Ryder Cup team last year. That from the PGA of America. Now let's take a look at the eligibility to get on the team. This is now through this press conference that this applies. 6 players will qualify in points and 6 captain's picks. 2024 majors, 1 point for every $1,000 earned. 2024 players, 1 point for every $1,000 earned. 2025, that's the year of the actual Ryder Cup. 1 point per $1,000 for PGA Tour events. 2025 majors, 1.5. So you get a 50% bump per 1,000. No points for the opposite field events on the PGA Tour. Points ranking does not guarantee qualification for the Ryder Cup, must separately meet all eligibility requirements. That, to me, is the sting in the tail. I don't know fully what that means yet. Do you? Go try to do some research and find out what all the eligibility requirements actually are. I'm serious. Right? So what I am encouraged by is this. Keegan Bradley said, I want the 12 best players. So he's seeing and hearing all that and going, all right, if you're not going to set up a vehicle where LIV players gain some kind of points towards that ranking system that you can check in the month of March, for example, I'm going to make sure that when it's my time to pick, I'm going to pick the best players to get on my team, right? And for Luke's side, the European Tour did it differently. They said, if you participate in LIV and you were a member of the European Tour, you are a member of the European Tour if you pay the penalties for competing in an event in which you didn't get a release. It's a lot of money. But there's a lot of players that have done it. Therefore, they are eligible for the Ryder Cup. John Rahm has said he doesn't want to pay those, but he applied and said, all right, I want you guys to take another look at this. So while that's pending, after they go through that whole process, he can continue to compete in European Tour events, get his 4 events, so he has the minimum. Then he can see what they ultimately decide to do. A lot of complications. How will it play itself out?